Because the original Hebrew in this verse points to the idea of both to die and the process of dying.
This is not true. The Hebrew of Genesis 2:17 is mot tamut. It means you will certainly die, and it refers to the certainty with which the individual will experience literal biological death.
Once again, Dan is correct. And like I said, a critical scholar or a scholar of the languages can tell you what the text is saying. Dan is not a theologian, so he can't tell you what the text means. Remember, this is the Torah. So the stories that are recounted in the book of Genesis are set in the framework of the nation of Israel having received the law. All of the stories told in Genesis leading up to the Exodus and ultimately the receiving of the law is to support the law and to support Israel's covenant with God. So the language of the law makes it very clear that if you disobey the laws, there are certain consequences. And those consequences of judgment, some of them leading to capital punishment, leading to death, well, that's rooted in the Genesis account of creation where God gives a divine command and he executes the judgment. But at the same time, God can also exercise mercy. And so, yes, God declares he has every right to execute judgment upon man. He has every right to carry out the condemnation. In the day you eat of it, you will surely die. But they don't die. Something changed. What changed? Nothing changed. God is always merciful. God doesn't have to execute judgment as he sees fit. God does what he wants. But it's not arbitrary. God has a reason behind it. And that's why you have to frame what's happening in Genesis 1, 2, and 3 in the context of the entire scriptures.
It means you will certainly die. And in Genesis 2:17, the implication is very clearly that he will actually biologically die within a day of eating from the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
Well, it's nice to see that Dan holds to a literal 7-day creation. As the Bible says, the evening and the morning was a day. The day you eat of it, you will die within a 24-hour period. So the world was created in 6 literal days, and on the 7th day, God rested.